Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. It's a wonderful evening. We'll be studying the Ramayana, and today the final war, we can say, the all the preparation, everything is over now. Now today is the final time that the Ravana himself is coming to fight. So before that, as we always do, let us chant this mantra. यन्माया वशवर्ती विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमिव भाति हि भवाम्भोस्धेस्ति तीर्षवतां बन्धोऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं Ram Akhyam Isham Harim. I salute the Supreme Lord Hari, known as Rama, the cause transcending all relative causes, whose mysterious power controls all beings in the world, including Brahma, Devas, Asuras, whose substance gives reality to all things as the rope does to the snake appearing on it, and feet alone before a spiritual aspirant as a boat for crossing the ocean of samsara. This Sri Ramachandra, the Lord Vishnu himself, has taken the human form. In the Mahabharata, we find the list of 10 avataras, and it begins with the Hamsa, the Vishnu himself, and the first time he appeared with a form. Now, just a few lines about the conception of Hinduism. It says that everything came from all-pervading Brahman. Brahman that is everywhere as consciousness. So obviously, there cannot be any form. That Brahman, as if, wanted to become many. And then from that all-pervasive consciousness, it separated itself, as because without Brahman there was nothing. Hence, as if it separated itself and made another Brahman for the creation, sustenance, and the dissolution. So one is Parabrahma, another Apara Brahma, Brahman with gunas or qualities. What are the qualities? Sattva, Raja, and Tama. And these are the three qualities. With this he created. And this is the way the creation started. Here, the two approaches always, as in Hinduism, one is non-dualistic, another dualistic. The non-dualistic approach says that this is called the egg made of gold. And another, in the dualistic, it says Brahma. The Hiranyagarbha, as they say, Hiranyagarbha, and another, it says, the Dvaitaism says Brahma. And the Supreme Lord is known as Vishnu. Vishnu, the word means Vistareti Vishnu, who is everywhere. This all-pervasiveness cannot take the form. But without the form, the ordinary human being cannot make any progress in the spiritual life. We need something in our before us with whom we can talk, we can make a relation, we can understand him like that. So because of the duality, the Lord Vishnu, he created himself the Brahma, and from Brahma the creation, and he is known as Narayana. This Narayana is taking human form in time and again and becoming avatara, is a descending as if, avataran, descending. And their birth is not like our birth, it is completely different, it is just taking the form. And in the Mahabharata, when we find the Hamsa, That was the first form the Lord Vishnu showed to others. So then after Puranas, other Puranas, they actually said the Hamsa cannot be taken as an avatara because the Hamsa didn't practice establishing the dharma. Avatara is considered doing only two things. The sthapakayacha dharmasya, the dharma sthapana, is establishing the righteousness and removing the unrighteousness. These are the two. And the Hamsha form, he didn't do that. So they began with others. Then in other places also we find in Mahabharata there are many avatars, and we find the best avatars is the manifestation is the Sri Ramachandra. After Ramachandra came Sri Krishna, and in the Kali Yuga came Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So these are the three. Satya Yuga didn't need any avatara because all people were righteous and a small group. And so Treta Yuga, when the population, it really spreaded almost everywhere, and it needed the guidance, and some of the people, they were not following the righteous path like the Ravana, and the Ramachandra came. How he established the dharma? He himself practiced how to behave with others. The relation between the father and the son and the two brothers and all different type of relations, the king and the subject, and the duties must be performed, and those who are intellectuals in the society must be protected and respected. These are the things that Sri Ramachandra practiced. And then in the time of Sri Krishna, he chastised the kings because they became completely unruly because of their muscle power. They were not ready to listen to the intellectual power, but the balance was very much necessary. So this is the reason. Then at the time of Sri Ramakrishna is completely different. What we find in Ramachandra, he has come all the way from Ayodhya to Lanka to punish Ravana. Ravana was also highly educated person, spiritual person, but very unfortunately, he used all his qualities to satisfy his own ego. This is the difference. A person, he was having the spiritual power. When Ravana used to meditate on Shiva, Shiva himself appeared before him. Ravana got all the blessings from the God only, the supreme God. And Ravana prayed that when I am successful in spiritual life, if you like to give me the boon that I should not be defeated in the hands of the Devas, Rakshasas, Jakshas, and Danavas. He forgot to mention about the human being and Hanumana. The Hanumana and human, these people, they thought, they are very nothing for me. Physically, I am so strong, I don't need any divine protection against them. Now that was the unfortunate, and we will come to know how, though he was having wonderful qualities, he was having all the Shastras, the scripture, he read those and he was a master. And he was so intelligent that people used to say that he is just like 10 people together. He was so intelligent, courageous, strong. But he used all those powers against the good people and only to satisfy his whims and desires. Sri Rama, he has come with the help of the Banara and other tribes. They all came and they made the bridge, they crossed the ocean, which the Ravana was thinking it will be impossible, but thing became possible. And then when they reached the shore, and before that we all know, those who are studying the Ramayana, Hanumana came over there all alone, and he made the show of power, and people started telling, the Rakshasas started telling, my God, only one person, he has killed so many of our soldiers, and he destroyed almost the half of the city, so powerful. If one is like that, when thousands will come, then what will happen to us? So psychologically they were very weak. And making all this, he brought the Rama and Lakshmana and all others. They camped over there, and all this preparation that we have seen. Now already the war began, and not full-fledged, but as we call the border clashes. There were 4 doors, and the 4 doors were guarded by, from the Ravana's side, his 4 famous the officers and thousands of the soldiers. And Rama, he sent the 4 of his leaders, Vanara leaders, with their soldiers to face them. It was going on. In the center position, Rama was waiting with the Vibhishana and also Hanumana, Lakshmana and all. These Vanara Senas, sometimes they used to go forcefully, they used to enter into the city, and then again they are coming back. They were pushed back. Again they went inside. So this was going on. At this time, so many people were dying. So any news and every news that came from the warfield was bad news for Ravana. So slowly Ravana could understand that I am losing the ground, I am failing. Not a single success story coming back. With the great confidence, he had sent his trusted 4 generals, Agniketu, Rashmiketu, Suptugna, and Yagga Rupa. These are the 4, Agniketu, Rashmiketu, Supugna, that was the name, and the Yajnakopa. But Sri Rama killed all the 4 by himself. Sri Rama, because he was having a very advanced type of weapon. In those days, the weapons that they were having they're only the stones, sometimes the sticks, sometimes iron rods, something like that. Very rare iron rods we find, only the stones and the sticks. Vanaras, they were uprooting the trees, and with that they were beating, but they were mainly using the wrestling power, killing them like this. And Rama was having the bow and arrow, Lakshmana was having the same, and very interestingly, Ravana was also having the bow and arrow, and few of his chosen officers were using the bow and arrow. So bow and arrow, we can understand that was very rarity, only special people they were using, and that way it was not that everyone was using the bow and arrow. So the physically direct attack it was, and whoever was physically powerful, they are becoming successful. The Vanaras, they were not only physically powerful, they were agile. They could move their body from one place to another, and very swiftly, which the Rakshasas, they could not. Because of the heaviness, they were powerful, but they were heavy. They couldn't move that fast as the Hanumanas they were doing, Vanara Senas they were doing. So they were losing, the Rakshasas, they were losing, they were dying, and slowly, Agniketu, Rashmiketu, Sutupna, and the Yajnakopa all were killed by him. Not only that, another famous warrior, Ravana saint, that is Nikumbha. Nikumbha, those who have read the Ramayana, they know these are the very famous names. This Nikumbha, and he was killed by the Nil. Nil, one of the famous the Vanara Sena, the Nil, he killed this Nikumbha. He, with a big stone, he broke his head. Like a silver line in the dark cloud, Ravana's illustrious son Indrajit, he brought a good news for his father. And he said that my snake weapon has bound both Rama and Lakshmana. They have lost their consciousness. In the dark, no one will be able to open those. Now, it's the snake weapon. This particular person, the Indrajit, he could make a type of the white gash and smoke. And the moment he will do that, people won't be able to see him where he is. Nowadays, this is very common in the modern day warfare. That sometimes when they go and to hand in hand the fight, they'll be using the smoke bombs. Then the smoke bombs they are throwing, it is just making the whole area thick covered with the smoke. People cannot see each other. With the help of that screen, the smoke screen, you have to finish your mission. I think the Indrajit was having that smoke bombs, and he knew how to use it. It is not everyone, only this person. That's why he was very favorite of Ravana. The Indrajit, he used to throw the smoke bomb, and from the cover of the smoke, he used to throw different type of things like the two stones tied in a rope, in the two end of the rope, and he used to throw in such a wonderful way it will go, and the whole body will be immediately wrapped in such a way with the rope. It is very difficult to open. In ancient times, like in 18th century, in the beginning, we have read the stories, and some people, wayward people were there. They used to rob the people by throwing that type of stone. It will come and it will round the whole, both the legs, and naturally the people, they will fall and they will come and rob their things. I think that that was called the snake, as because it used to go like a snake and they're wrapping the whole body, and he used to throw in that way, and that was his speciality. And he used to throw in such a way that will go and choke the throat. And both the end of the rope was having something heavy like the stones and others, and he will throw in such a unique way that it will go and start from the leg and the whole body, then afterwards up to the neck. Because of that, the people is to lose the consciousness. He threw these two against the Rama and Lakshmana, and it was completely new type of thing, and they could not protect themselves, and they fell unconscious. When they fell unconscious, and it was dark, it was night, the people, they could not see properly how to open it, what happened to them. They thought that they are both are dead, and they were started crying. There was naturally they could not see it properly. We can imagine. And when the Banar Senas, in the Rama camp, they were in that condition, Indrajit went back very happy, reported to his father that he has made this Rama and Lakshmana, both the brothers, they are now unconscious. This weapon that we find that Indrajit was using is a new technique, and it was not known. Luckily, that at that time, a great power that was going through over there, the Garuda. That sometimes people like to believe that this is the snakes that was actually used. It was not. I don't think in that way. Though the Garuda was very powerful, a bird, he was passing through that, he came to see what is the condition of Rama and Lakshmana. When he found it, he opened the thing, and the Rama and Lakshmana came back to the consciousness. Maybe if they were there for a longer period of time, they would have died. But it was the lucky for the Rama the Garuda reached over there and he removed that and they became all right. The multitudes of monkey soldiers shouted in great joy, seeing their leaders back in action because of the Garuda. And that sound reached the Ravana's camp, and Ravana understood whatever the Indrajit had done, it has gone in vain. Rama and Lakshmana, they are not dead, they are again back. Now the Ravana called an emergency meeting to boost up the morals of his people. Now we can naturally imagine that when sometimes if you are observing the modern wars, then both the camps they will be constantly going on telling the lies and encouraging their own people. They will tell, we are successful, we are doing this, we have captured this, so many people we have killed. So like this they go on propaganda as they call it. It goes on like that. And some boost up is also necessary. Sometimes the leader will go and meet all the soldiers. Here we find Ravana called emergency meeting because majority of his trusted soldiers, they were already dead. And Ravana asked his soldiers that those who are injured and dead, don't bring them back, throw them to the ocean. And by that way also they lost one thing that afterwards we will find the Hanumana brought the one type of herbs, and to that there all the injured people with the help of the smell of the herb they all got back, and even they said even the dead people were also came to life like that. Majority of the people they were injured. We can imagine it was not the bullets, it was not the guns or the other firearms. So obviously, they were most of them were injured. Those they broke the head or like that or choked because they were using the muscle power, and it was mainly the wrestling. And in the wrestling, people don't die. They maybe the breaking their legs and hands, and they're injured, lying down. Ravana never wanted to bring them back for the treatment so that they can get back. That is the very selfish psychology. Those who are going to fight for the Ravana, when they are injured, he should have kept the people to bring them back and for the treatment. Even in those days, when the medical people will go to collect the injured bodies or dead bodies, and no one will attack them. The Hanumanas, they were constantly doing that. They were taking them to a safe place and they were treating them. And then Hanumana, someone asked him to bring some of type of herbs from the Himalaya. It was only Hanumana could do because he was very fast. So he went to the Himalaya, collected those herbs, brought it, and they used that herb and kept over there. The smell of that herb cured most of the people, those who were injured and others. So that is a little bit of miraculous and little bit of, yes, it is possible. Sometimes the smell of something that gives us the life back, it happens. So it happened. And Rama never ever threw these injured bodies to the ocean. He told, no, we have to help them to get back to the normal life. So there was a group of people who were treating them. So medical camp was already there with the Rama. But Ravana was not having. So he was going on losing the people. And naturally, the family members were also are not very happy with the Ravana. So we can imagine this type of scenario that is going on in the two camps. And now came the Mallavan. This Mallavan was the maternal uncle of Ravana. He was also a learned person and he was also a hero. And in this condition, then naturally a senior man, he stood up and said, and he gave a long speech over there. and giving a full complete list what a good king, a just king should do, how he should look after his own subject. So he was telling Ravana, sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, it is not the state problem, not the whole society is having this problem, it is your personal problem. And he very categorically mentioned, Ravana, this is your personal problem. And that, as because you are king, you should not involve the whole nation, whole country. And whole country is going to suffer. Already half of our people are dead. And most of our the resources are exhausted. Now, what do you think that you are going to do? Now, he said, the first, your personal grievances, personal things should not be that as a national problem, you should not give in that way. You should go and challenge Rama alone and fight with him. You fight a duel with Rama. If you like to have his wife, the duel you can go. But you are not going that, you know that you won't be able to fight back, you won't be able to be successful against the Rama. So you are involving the whole country, all nation, and all our people are going and they are dying over there every day. This is not good. Second, he said that when you know that you are going to lose, it is the good thing to become humble and have another that go and have a peace meeting with him. Give back the Sita. Rama is not going to capture your country or anything. He will go back. Only he wants his wife back. So give her back. And moreover, Sita is never ever going to marry you. So obviously, when the Sita will come to know that the Rama is dead or defeated by you, she will commit suicide. What gain you are going to have? You want that lady, but you will never have her. She will never become your wife. She is not willing. The whole year passed. She is sticking to her promise that I am not going to marry you. And you are cursed by the other people, the obviously some ladies, we will come to that because of the bad things that you have done, you can never ever forcefully marry her. Now, fighting Rama and then defeating Rama, if you like to keep her, that is also not possible. We can understand that. And when the war began, we were thinking we are powerful. Now, within few days, we have understood we are no match for the Rama. So better you give back. When the Mallavan gave a well-meaning words, but the Ravana didn't pay any heed to his words. Rama will be destroyed within a few days, he said boastfully. Why should I be afraid of him? I have defeated even gods. Feeling insulted, Mallavan left the meeting. Now we can understand, so if when we are reading this, and if you are keeping the present day situation, sometimes there is a conflict between two nations, and if you regularly observe that, same thing happened even today. Sometimes someone who was leading the war or a very famous man, he is opposing the leader or quitting. Like this thing happened, Mallavan left the meeting. And Rama, and he said that Rama will be destroyed within a few days. Ravana asked another hero, Dhumraksha, to take the lead. Dhumraksha, with a huge number of soldiers, attacked Rama's camp and killed many Vanaras. Hanumana then killed Dhumraksha with a huge stone. Now, when they said kill the Vanaras, killed means, as we always we know, that it was not the death in that way, but injured seriously so that they cannot fight back and they will be lying over there. So, because there was nothing that fatal the weapons. Nowadays, the snipers, they are in a far away place, they will be having a gun, and without your knowledge, they will be killing you. It was nothing like that. This is all heroic. You have to come face to face, you have to show your physical power, and then only you can fight. So, obviously, both sides they were mostly injured. And Hanumanans and others, so they were using the stones as the weapon. They used to throw that. It's not a small stone. It's a huge rock they will be throwing. The powerful people used to do like that. But when those rocks are coming and falling, or 10, 15 people gathering, all will be smashed, they are dead. And sometimes they used to use the stone to smash their heads, and by that way they used to kill. And very rarely they use the sword. We will find that one time only Hanumana took a sword, and that was also a Rakshasa's sword, and he cut the head of one leader. So this is the way they used to fight. So we can understand when the Hanumana that they were defeating, that means they are injuring majority of the Vanara Sena, and finally Hanumana came. And they were maintaining the rule of the war. When he is fighting someone, and that particular leader and his troop, the soldiers, they are fighting, even the other who are very close by won't join till you finish that. So this was the norm. If you are fighting one to one, others will not touch you. So this is the way we are fighting. That's up to you. So we can understand that dharma, righteousness, some system, very good system, was followed in the war. And here also in the Ramayana, the first war that we see, they followed this also. Even the Rakshasas, they will not join. Sometimes Indrajit, he used to do, the sons of Ravana, he used to do secretly, but that was not conventional. The conventional, you have to declare that you are coming, and you have to declare that I am going to fight with you and some opposite person, original. So whole mass will you can fight, that is okay, but not secretly. Indrajit was not using that, so he was killed also. So his uncle, who was in the Rama's camp, and he said this to the Ramachandra. He said, Rama, he is using this type of thing. He is not following the proper rules of the war, and he is secretly collecting all this power. So we have to kill him also secretly. And when he is not fighting, and rather he was meditating, that is the time when the Lakshmana went and killed him. So this the story will come in the Ramayana. So then Dhumraksha went over there, and Hanumana killed him. After the Dhumraksha, another warrior, Vajradramshta, attacked. He was Angada, and they attacked Angada and injured him. But being the Angada very powerful, he injured, he fell down, but again he got up, and then he cut the head of Dhumraksha. The Dhumraksha was having a big sword. The Angada somehow captured the sword from the Dhumraksha. With that, he cut the head of the Dhumraksha. Then came the Akampan, the one after another. These names are big names in the Rakshasa camp, one after another. Akampan took the fight of the Dhumraksha, and after challenging Hanumana, he was killed by the great Hanumana. Hanumana was not fighting, he was actually observing. And he was always with the Rama and Lakshmana. He was concerned that this Rama and Lakshmana should be protected. The Rama and Lakshmana, in that two group, among these people, Hanumanas were very huge bodies, very powerful. Rakshasas were the same. Only the Manava, Rakshasa, Hanumana and the Manava. Manava means the human group. They are all human, but different clans. This Manava group, they were in physically, they were not as strong as the Hanumana or the Rakshasas. Hanumana understood that. So he was protecting these two brothers, and he knew that they are the leaders. If anything happened to them, we will all, naturally, if the leader is dead or injured, everybody will lose the courage to fight back. So he was protecting. Now and then, if when he is observing, he saw that someone is not able to do, then he used to go to help. And in this case, he attacked Akampan, the Rakshasa, attacked Hanumana, and Hanumana killed him. Terrified, Ravana then called his chief of army, now the final person, Prahasta, and said to Prahasta, Prahasta was the chief of the army. Now one after another the officers they went and they all were killed. Now finally he called the Prahasta and said to Prahasta, O Prahasta, you are the only one left now. Go and show your power and bring victory for me. Prahasta, proving his loyalty and clarity, he said, O Lord, like many others, I too believe that returning Lady Sita is the only solution for this destruction. But honoring your command, I shall plunge into the war, though not sure whether I will become able to bring you the victory or not. I shall prove my loyalty by fighting till death. And we can understand even the chief of the army command, army staff, he also lost the faith, that they understood that we are not going to win this war. But Ravana could not. And this is called the Tamasika Jnana. The Tamasika people, they can never believe that they will be defeated. They always think that I am going to be successful. And by that way, they always try to prove themselves, but they fail, and miserably they fail. One after another, all these were done, but still. Now the final person is going the Prahasta, and Prahasta knew that he won't be able to be successful, so he said that very clearly, Sir, I do not know whether I will be able to bring you the good news, but at least I will be giving my life for you. As per Sri Rama's plan, Neel and his soldiers faced Prahasta. And this thing, they got the information, and Rama, he was using the small group to exhaust this type of people who are coming. Now psychologically, this is like this, and the Prahasta is disturbed by the Neela. Maybe we can say like some guerrilla war nowadays in the modern war terminology, they say guerrilla war. They will not directly go and conflict from the side, they will come, they will destroy some of the soldiers, they will disturb. Like this, constantly from all sides they will be going on doing like that, and by that way the main force are disturbed and they cannot reach to the ultimate. So when the Prahasta was coming, Rama knew that he will come with the best soldiers and they are all highly trained. So obviously he sent the Neel and his soldiers to face the Prahasta. Prahasta attacked with 1/3 of the total Rakshasa soldiers. That almost the whole Rakshasa, they went over there. But it was not his day. Very powerful Neel killed him with a big stone. And every time when you read, they are being killed with a stone. The stone, that means a huge heavy block they used to throw on them, or sometimes when they will jump on them and break their head with the stone. So friends, when we are describing this war, this fight, we can understand the weapons are also, they were very, very primitive type of weapons. So it was all the physical. Maybe that majority of the people could survive if the Ravana was not throwing the injured people to the ocean. Maybe afterwards they could survive. Maybe some were surviving. But the Hanumana group, they were keeping their injured people in a separate way, and they all came back to life. So when they were returning back, majority of them, they came back. So we accept some who were killed by the Ravana. We will come to that. Hearing the demise of the Prahasta, the Lanka king Ravana declared that he himself will lead the soldiers. Accordingly, the elite soldiers of the Ravana followed him along with other heroes. The elite group, now they are going. Usually, the king is always guarded by a very special type of soldiers. Among all the soldiers, they are highly trained and specially trained to protect the king. So obviously Ravana, he is now going out. We can understand when the elite soldiers are used means that is the last resort. So otherwise they will never use them. So now all they were exhausted, nothing was left. So Ravana himself going, and along with the Ravana, those who were near the Ravana, so they also followed, like Indrajit, Atikai, Manodara, Trishira, Kumbha, Nikumbha, and Narantaka. So these are the great leaders and warriors of the Ravana camp. Now each and every one also having a huge number of soldiers following them. So like we can imagine when the Ravana was coming out, it was almost like the nation coming into the warfield. And leaving a few experienced officers from his elite group to guard the city and the palaces, Ravana went out to the war ground, raising a deafening war cry. So that is also a technique in the war when they are charging. The present day war, they're mostly from the distance they'll be shooting, but sometimes when they are going and capturing a camp, and that time a hand-to-hand fight, and that is the time you are supposed to cry, the loudly, all of them, in such a way, sudden cry that frightened the enemies. Ravana used that technique, and when they were going, as almost like in lakhs, they were going to attack, and they were all the sound of the drum and other that they were blowing the conches and the shouting and the horses, the elephants, the tumult, the sound that made naturally the enemies, that is Rama and his camp, they were terrified. The Banara Sena, the soldiers of that, they were terrified. All they were coming. And this beautiful description, and when Ravana went over there, Ravana's high chariot, he was the very high chariot, because when he is sitting above the head of the people, he can see what is happening and he can take the decision. And golden armor was glittering in the sun. Ravana's huge bow and arrow terrified the monkey soldiers. Now, when this is this way, it was happening. Now, with what Rama did, Rama didn't change his plan. He never moved to fight. What he did, he asked the monkey king Sugriv, Anantar, Gabaksha, Gabaya, Sushena, and Nala to go and face the Ravana's group. Ravana was having different groups. So when they are approaching this group, they went and they started fighting with different groups. Observing these, Hanumana came before the Ravana. And this time Hanumana came to face the Ravana and applied a psychological what technique. O Ravana, Hanumana said, today is your last day. You will be killed in the hands of the human and Hanuman. Because of the divine boon, you are undefeatable by the Deva, Danava, Gandharva, Yaksha. These are all, we can understand. Deva is a group of people, those who were very educated, and is a different group. Mostly they used to live in the Himalayan region. Then Danavas, they were like that. They were also in the hills, but mostly in the jungle and the hills they used to live. This is the Danava group. The Gandharva, they were culturally very high, mostly, but that was a small group of people. They were there, and Yakshas, they were very good in economy. So some people they were. So we can understand the society in those days. The Yaksha was a group, mainly they used to look after the business and they were rich people. And the Gandharva, they, of course, all of them, they knew how to fight and war and protect themselves. But the Gandharvas were mainly the group of people who used to sing and dance and painting and making the houses, construction of the houses. So these are the group, and Deva and Danava. But you are not protected by from the hands of the human and Hanumanas. He reminded him. Ravana knew it. Even then, the Hanumana, he was talking to Ravana and he reminded him. Psychologically, when you know these are my weak points, and if that comes at that time, critical time, you become weak. Oh, that is true. And he said, you are protected, we know. And no one can defeat you. This Deva, Danava, Gandharva, Yaksha, this group. But what about us? Hanumana and human, the Manava, they are now here and you are going to die. Today you will surely die. When again and again he was telling like that, so naturally Ravana and Hanumana's words weakened Ravana. Alas, he is correct, Ravana was thinking. While accepting the boon from the Lord Brahma, I did not seek protection from the human and Hanuman. The Manava and Hanumana, these two groups I never cared about. So I never said that. Moreover, Ravana's memory welled up. Psychologically, the Hanumana was making Ravana weak. And he said this, and Ravana started thinking whatever the bad things he did all came back in his mind. When a person is going to die, all his karma phala that comes back to him. How? Because they will come on the surface of his mind, in his thoughts, all the bad deeds that he has done. Maybe when he was active, that was subdued, he never remembered them. He thought he has forgotten them, but no, it comes back and it is coming back. Ravana was thinking in his memory, O king, Anaranya of Ikshaku dynasty cursed me, that one from his family will kill me. Ikshaku dynasty is the same dynasty, the Sri Ramachandra. So one of the kings whom Ravana killed He said, well, I could not defeat you, but someone from the family will go and kill you. The Rama belongs to Ikshaku lineage. Maybe that words, Anaranya king, going to be true. The king Anaranya from the Ikshaku family. There are many other relatives are there. So maybe a small king whom Ravana defeated and killed. So he gave that curse. Fie on me! When I raped the pious lady Bedavati, she cursed me, saying, I will die a shameful death because of a woman. The Bedavati, she was a researcher in the Brahmagyani, so she was practicing austerity. Ravana forcefully abducted her and raped her, and she gave that. Oh, I left, but now it seems the Vedavati's words has come to true. The Sati is that lady. It's the Sita actually. The Sita is that lady. Because of the Sita, I am going to die. The Ravana was thinking one after another. He wrongfully defeated his brother and took all the wealth from him, and also that particular chariot that could fly, that Ravana snatched from him and beating him mercilessly. Ravana did many, many bad things, and that was coming back to his memory, weakening him. When the Ravana came to the war, then finally Sri Ramchandra went, and both of them started the war of arrows. Rama was using his bow and arrow, and Ravana also. Before Rama, Lakshmana told his brother Rama, you don't need not to go, as because I have to shoot him, and from distance I can shoot him well. Let me fight against him. And when he went and challenged, the Ravana told, by age you are very young. Even the Rama is very young. So you better send Rama. You go back. I don't like to hurt you. So we can feel that the Lakshmana, the young man standing before the Ravana, naturally he never failed to hurt the Lakshmana. But no, Lakshmana challenged him and they started war. But of course, Lakshmana was injured, he was taken back, and then Rama came. When both of them they were fighting, then before Rama, Hanumana also came to challenge the Ravana. And when the Ravana, he came to challenge the Ravana, and he said, we should fight the bare hands, because I don't know how to shoot the arrows, and I don't have bow and arrow. So Ravana accepted that. This shows that how courteous even then in the warfield they were. And when you compare now, we cannot think of everything. All those norms are already gone. So human being, they're using all different type of things to kill each other. That heroic things are not there. Though they were fighting, but they were heroes. So when the Hanumana went and told, I like to fight with you, and the Ravana accepted, first Hanumana gave a blow to Ravana. Ravana, along with his chariot, went back a few feet. That was so forceful. Ravana became happy. He told, yes, I saw you before, and you are really a true enemy of me. I can really like to fight with you. A powerful man. Then it was Ravana's the turn. He gave a blow on the chest of the Hanumana. Hanumana also stepped back 2 or 3 steps, that it was so forceful. And for a time, he could not breathe. So a powerful person like Hanumana. So Ravana was also very, very powerful. And after some time, then the Rama came, and Rama told that, let me fight with the Ravana. By this time, Ravana was exhausted and tired. When Ramachandra could kill Ravana on that day itself. But look at this person. He was then killing the charioteer, and the chariot broke the chariot. Then afterwards he said, "It seems, Ravana, you are already tired." Because Ravana fought with the Lakshmana, then with the Hanumana, and then Rama came. Rama felt, the tired man, I should not kill him now. He said, "Why not you go back, take rest, and come tomorrow? I will meet you tomorrow, and tomorrow will be your last day." Ravana, accepting that this is the first time, an egoistic person, he understood, yes, I need rest. I need some treatment, medicine. Otherwise, I'll die. So I won't be able to fight Rama back. He accepted that offer and he went back. And then the door was closed, and all his soldiers also went back with him. And those who were already injured and killed, they were laid over there. And the night came, everything was quiet. Rama told Hanumana and others, let us go back and take an account of this today's the war, who are injured and who can fight tomorrow again. So friends, it will be the last class in December, and I think you have already declared the date. On the December, that day, we will see how the Rama, he is killing the Ravana, and then he is getting back the Sita, the victory to Sri Rama. The last title of the talk will be Victory to Sri Rama. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let us say Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Thank you. And
Thank you.